Hi everyone, I'm Mixed Media Girl and welcome to Hometalk, the world's largest DIY community for home and garden. If you're watching the premiere on Hometalk TV, I'll be watching with you and answering your questions in the comments. So give me a shout out, tell me where you're watching from, and make sure to post your questions. If you want to be notified of future episodes, click the follow button and either download the Hometalk app or leave your email address so you never miss a show. We're going to go ahead and get started with our fun project today. We're creating some awesome acrylic pour Christmas ornaments. These are just the plastic ornaments from Michael's, and I have it on a little foam piece here that I got from the dollar store, and then some popsicle sticks to hold them up. And I'm going to explain the materials as I go, just in case anyone's not done acrylic pouring before. So I am using acrylic paint here. These are Artist Loft Flow acrylics. But you can use any acrylic paint whatsoever. I get the Artist Loft Flow acrylics from Michael's as well. You can, like I said, any acrylic paint will work. My paints are mixed with Floetrol, which is a paint conditioner, and a little bit of water to consistency, depending on the kind of paint. So make sure you stay this whole show because I'm going to actually show you how I mix my paints. But for now, we're putting enough paint in here. I'm using white, gold, and red for my first set of ornaments. You do need to be a little careful considering what colors you're using next to each other. Like white and red will make pink. So I put the red in between some gold. Also, make sure you check out, there's a link for all of the materials up in the description. So just in case you missed anything or if you're not quite sure what something is, go check out that link. And then also, guys, I have a YouTube channel where I show exactly how I mix my paints, a very detailed video. So while I am going to show you in a few minutes, you can also check that out. This is what you call a dirty pour method, where we're pouring all the colors together. You don't need a lot of paint. It is wise to put something underneath to catch the paint so that you could use it for, once it dries, you can use it for jewelry, you can use it for other things. And I think these are going to be awesome with red and gold. So I'm just pouring this. When you pour it on the top like this, it's generally pretty easy to get full coverage. I'm going to throw a little more paint into my cups, into my cup here. But yeah, it really doesn't take a lot of paint at all. Adding a little more red and white. And the cool thing is they all come out very different, and it gives it that marbled look, which is just gorgeous. You can do this with glass. You can also do this with ones that are pre-painted. So they don't have to be blank. You can have colored ones that you can paint. I'm going to add a little more paint on this one. And then I'm going to show you another method. Like I said, this is called the dirty pour method. So another method, which does take longer, so I may not do the whole thing on this video, but I'm just going to show you how it works. It's called a clean pour, and that is going to blend your colors a lot less. So that method is literally just pouring the colors on there one at a time. So if you wanted to do, say, just red and white, this would probably be the best method. It is a little bit harder to get full coverage, and it does take longer, but with a little bit of patience, it still works out just fine. So that's the clean pour method, but I'm going to just cover the rest of these with the dirty pour method. I don't have a lot of gold left, so I'm just going to use this gold cup to hopefully get a little bit more out of it. I would love to know, guys, what are your favorite colors, especially Christmas colors? So, like, what colors do you decorate with during the holidays? Let me know down in the comments. I am more of a cool color kind of girl, so I usually prefer the blues, but I do love this red and gold combination. Okay, so right after we finish these, I am going to show you, like I said, how I mix my paints. These will continue to run down, so they will look different when they're dry. They do not take a long time to dry at all. They take maybe maybe a few hours depending on how hot or cold it is. I see a few that need a little more paint. So I'm going to just add a little more to these and then we'll move them aside and I'll show you how I mix my paints. This makes such great gifts. It's also such a good activity to do with the whole family. Definitely kids love doing this. Okay, I think that's good. Like I said, move this aside. And now, guys, I'm going to show you how I mix my paints because that is the most common question. This is Floetrol. It's called Flood Floetrol. I get mine at Lowe's. You can get it on Amazon, Home Depot, etc. So I start off with a little bit of this. It does look white, but it dries clear, so it wouldn't alter the color of your paints. And I'm going to mix up this. This is Art Minds DIY. It is a metallic purple. So my ratio here is 2/3 Floetrol to 1/3 paint. So I'm going to put half of that amount of paint in here. It does not have to be an exact measurement. Now, some other common questions are, can you use glue? Yes, you can. Or can you use other things? There are pouring mediums. Almost every brand makes a pouring medium now. Like Deco Art makes one. Liquitex has a pouring medium. So there are a lot of different ones. Floetrol is easily accessible and it's inexpensive. That's what I love about it. It's actually generally cheaper than glue. Okay, so this is now pretty thick. So at this stage, we need to add a little bit of water. And you're going to just add a little bit at a time, stirring it in until you get the consistency of syrup, or warm honey, as some people like to say. Just make sure you're thoroughly mixing. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more water in here. And pretty much everyone, even if you have an exact recipe, you'll go through trial and error. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with it. Okay, so that's a much better consistency there. Cool. Now we're going to do our next set of ornaments. And we're going to go with the cool color mock-up here. Okay. So I have this cup that I already put a little bit of white in. I'm just going to use that. And since we mixed up this pretty purple, we'll go ahead and we'll use that. This will be nice and metallic. I'm also going to use some blue. And then with this color combination, silver works well. So I mixed up some silver. And that's going to go in here also. I'm going to make sure I put more in my cup this time so I don't have to refill as many times. A little more white. And then I'm going to use, I think, some regular purple that isn't metallic, just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do these all again with that same dirty pour method. But this time I'm going to pour in just a few different ways so you can kind of see how pouring just a little bit differently can give you a different look. So we'll start with that same one we had, which is basically, you can call it a tree ring pour, and that's just going in a circle like this from the middle, and it just all drips down. So that's one way. You can also pour in ribbons. So you do it more like this. That's once again a little bit harder to get some full coverage, and you may end up missing some more spots. You can also start out with the tree ring and then end it up with some some ribbons. Either way, just have fun with it. So this kind of tree ring method is what I find to be the easiest, especially when trying to get full coverage. We've got a few more here. And sometimes they spin as you pour on them. Yeah, it's always interesting seeing, people's favorite color combinations. I definitely, like I said, I lean towards the cooler colors. Okay, so I do need a little more paint here. I'm going to just do white and add some white and blue. I love that purple, but I love just having white and blue. So I think I'm going to do that. You can do this with any colors whatsoever. I like doing some rainbow ones. I kind of go with wild colors sometimes. If you want, you can go kind of darker. Add in some black. That can give you some contrast. And it's so easy to make entire sets of these for gifts. So easy. Okay, there you have it. You can also pre-paint these just so you don't worry about missing spots. And another thing you can do, of course, is once you're done, just kind of turn them gently and see if you missed any spots. Like I did miss this little spot here. You can just tap it with your finger and the paint will just naturally flow there. All right, that is all to these guys. So I'm going to now show you the next step. I'm going to show you some completed ones that I did earlier. And of course, once those are all dry, you're going to put the little metal piece back in there. So these are some that I did earlier. Actually, same color combos, pretty much. I really like these color combos. Now, in terms of sealing them, you can use any kind of varnish. You can use resin. I prefer using this Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Enamel Spray. It's pretty easy. I will leave them on the foam pieces. Once they're dry, I'll take it outside and then I'll just spray it with this. And you usually want to spray it with a few coats. It's sometimes hard to get full coverage with that, but if you just spray it with a few light coats, you should be good. All right, and then you can, of course, use the metal hangers, or as I like to do, you can add some ribbon. So I'm just going to add some white ribbon, which will go with both of these, but I do like to usually use color coordinated pieces. So if I do blue ones, maybe I'll add a blue string or I'll add a green string. I have all kinds of different ribbons. So I'm going to get these cut. Try not to, I have some wet paint on the table, so try not to get anything in the wet paint. But, you know. All right, so I got the two for the blue ones here. Simple, we just string it through there and tie it. That's literally all there is to it. You can do so many other things. These are so versatile. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add glitter. You could add a little bow here. At this point, you can add stickers. You could write in your family name, you know, or Susie 2019. Anything you want, you can do to these. But look how gorgeously marbled those are. And just anything to match your home decor. So I'm just going to finish the ribbons on these. And I'm going to show you some other ones that I have done. And definitely, guys, let me know if you have any questions on mixing the paint. Like I said, I'll be down there in the comments with you, and I'll post the link to the video specifically on how I mix my paints, because I find that with acrylic pouring, that is definitely the key, is simply getting your paints mixed properly. Once you can get that down, you're golden. And you can do so many projects. Who has seen any of my videos from the last few weeks? Let me know. So over actually the last few months, I've done acrylic pours on vases. I've done acrylic pours on tables, on picture frames, basically everything. You can acrylic pour on just about anything. And it makes it so unique. We've got other fun projects coming up for you. Definitely make sure you have clicked that follow button so you get notified of the future projects coming up, because December, such a fun month. Great making gifts and home decor. Everything can be customized. All right. So there we go. These ones I actually did with the clean pour method. So it's not as much pink, because with the dirty pour method, you tend to get more pink. All right, so I'm gonna hang these on a little tree I have, and we're gonna show you how cute these are. This is just a little tree that I made to display like jewelry and stuff. So it's exciting. I just gathered some branches from outside. And there you go. So you can see how awesome they'll look on your tree. And these are different kinds of paints, different colors. Like this is one of the ones that I did that's kind of rainbow color. So super exciting. Some I've used different metallics or greens in. Super cute, right? Super easy. Definitely a great family project. My kid loves making these with me. So I just wanted to mention another thing here as we're kind of wrapping up, and that is I did just come out with an entire book on acrylic pouring. It's called the Paint Pouring Workshop. That will also be in the materials link. So if you're interested in acrylic pouring and like really, really learning it, because it's such a fun, it's just such a fun art form, I definitely recommend checking that out. Plus Christmas is coming up, so it makes a great gift as well. Check out the YouTube channel. Like I said, I'll post the link down in the comments for how I mix my paints, just so you can, like I said, that's the key. Please let me know what you guys thought of this project. I mean, for me, it's one of the funnest Christmas projects. I do these every single year and I give them as gifts, and they are the most loved gifts. So let me know what you thought of the project. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.